Hello once again, superstars. His name is Aaron, and he has finally learned how to love.
His name's Tommy, and he's getting too old for this shit.
You're listening to the Superpod Saga! That's right. That's right. This is the Superpod Saga, the podcast that you are listening to. Welcome. Thank you for being here, listeners. If it's your first time listening, this is the podcast where Aaron or me, Tommy, brings a different video game topic to talk about. We bring a guest along too. They're forced to talk about it, and we just, talk and talk. That's like a podcast.
They're forced against their will to talk about it. They're like, talk about games! Talk about games, or I'm taking your ring finger.
We sound really friendly like when we're recording, but before we're recording, we're very mean.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I sound nice, but deep down I'm a fucking maniac.
Yeah. And no one can speak better to that than our guest today, Jameson. Hi, Jameson.
Hi, how's it going? You guys are terribly mean.
Thank you. That's so kind of you to say. Jameson is from barSILENCE. Why don't you tell the people at home about you, about that, about video games you like? Just go on for like 20 minutes.
About 20? Okay, no problem. So my name is Jameson. I'm the host of the video game music podcast called barSILENCE. I started the show, back in 2022, like early in the year, because I love video games and I also love video game music. And I was really kind of hoping to find a way to share music with people that would also like it. And I've made some pretty cool friends along the way, including you guys.
Aw.
That's right. Yeah.
Where can people find the podcast, and where can they find the social media of you and the barSILENCE?
Yeah. So let's see. So if you're a fan of video game music and you want a nostalgia tour by means of gaming soundtracks, you can check out the show at barsilence.com or search barSILENCE in whatever your favorite podcast listening method is. And you can find pretty much the show anywhere that's on social media, like Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky. So if you're friends with or following these super, super cool guys at the Superpod Saga, you can find me on there because I follow these guys pretty much everywhere too.
You have a .com. Look at you. I'm on it right now.
Do. Yeah.
It's pretty snazzy.
Holy cow. Where can people find our .com, Aaron?
Fuck. Oh man, I had a cool thing.
Come on, you got this.
I had a cool thing thought up for this, but I lost it. Head on over to your local Wahlburgers and ask to use their free Wi-Fi. And go to superpodsaga.com, and you can find all of our previous episodes, our blog, our social medias, and of course, if you like the show and you want to help out your boys like Jameson does, you can become a patron for bonus stuff and other cool perks.
Is he a patron?
Yeah.
I am.
Holy shit! We're with royalty right now. Is Wahlburgers an actual place, like a restaurant?
I don't know. I know there's a bunch.
I've seen it in Hy-Vee.
Yeah, that's all I know of is just those in Hy-Vee and like maybe like a mall or something. But
Okay.
no, they're not like.
We recently got one around here in my area. I have not been.
Is it an actual restaurant?
Yeah. There's like a restaurant
weird.
change. Yeah.
Okay.
They're
We just
not
have
that
cardboard.
great.
We just have cardboard cutouts of Mark Wahlberg at Hy-Vee.
It's not great. It's you would think like with Mark Wahlberg being as funny and like cool as he is in real life that
You've met him?
no, just from what I've seen. I wish.
It's if you want to eat the meat. That's the same guy who is featured in the Make My Video on Sega CD game. You could. That's definitely the one
God.
that I connect with.
If you want to eat Mark Wahlberg's meat. We're here for video games, though. Do we have a Discord question or Patreon question? Do we do that?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I closed Discord for some stupid reason.
I haven't opened it yet, so we're all
open
on
it
the
up.
same page.
Yeah, I'll start things off for you. Let me scroll up. So yeah, I asked.
You can find our Discord and join our Discord.
Yeah, right on our website or through our Twitter bio. I'm still refusing to call it X because no.
Yeah, same.
No, thank you. But
Yeah, I'm not committed.
Yeah, it's real dumb. It sounds like a new kind of electric car or something stupid. I don't want it. So yeah, we asked the.
I think of Too Extreme on the. Do you ever play those games on PlayStation? Too Extreme. There was 3 Extreme.
Wait, was it really? Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
That's what the X goes for me.
I was thinking of like Triple X, like the movie with Vin Diesel. Like they should do a prequel where it's just like double X, and then like a prequel where it's just X, and then like a prequel where it's
negative
like
X.
negative X.
Yes.
There we go. He's got to earn those X's by destroying the bad guys or whatever.
Isn't the sequel just Triple X 2?
Yeah, something stupid
With Ice Cube?
No,
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
There's no way you're making that up. Anyway, I asked Discord. One sec. What games or series do you like or appreciate but haven't actually played? And Dave from Remember 64, he's an awesome fella. He says most Final Fantasy games I haven't played, but it's hard to deny their impact and just how beloved they are. Indeed,
It's true.
Final Fantasy IX is my favorite, and it's never not going to be my favorite. Wait,
Never? Wow, that's a.
no, yeah, that's There's too many negatives in there. I confused myself, but that is right.
Baquil said, Ultima. I think they were important to the development of the RPG genre, but I have only barely played the 4th one. I know nothing about Ultima.
They're pretty interesting games. There was, I forget which one it was, but there was one game in the series where they did away with like combat and enemies and shit like that because the world is finally at peace, and the way that you like level up and all that stuff is by doing good deeds. And instead of unlocking like new attacks or spells, you unlock new like character traits and shit like that. It's pretty wild for like an 80s RPG. It's nuts.
We would be terrible at that because we're terrible people.
Yeah, we are. We would cut off way too many fingers. We'd be like, but this one was infected though. Like that's a good deed. It's infected.
You infected it.
Anyway, Hoocham, +1 for Final Fantasy. Also can appreciate how much people enjoy the Ace Attorney games and Mountain Blade. Me too. With Ace Attorney, like I love the games and like I'll enjoy them for about an hour or more, but I cannot play them if I'm too sleepy because I'll get really, really bored and fall asleep a little bit.
I tried playing the first one on my mobile phone because they had a version on there, and I wasn't sure if I was playing like the right version or if it was a mobile one. It was weird to me, so I just stopped. Scrapdog15 said, I've heard great things about the Mass Effect games. This one, I'll be honest, I have played maybe an hour of, but that's it. Another series that seems to get huge compliments is Professor Layton games. Never played them, but know a friend who raves about them, and I trust his judgment. He's talking about me.
That's what
He's not being subtle at all.
That's what I assumed too, because I was like, I think I responded to him. Yeah, you can see it right there. I was like, well, Tommy loves all that and whatever, and he was like, oh yeah, he likes Professor Layton games. I never knew that.
Winky face emoji.
Yeah,
this guy.
You forgot to do the voice, like the little mocking voice. Whenever you, that's got to be a thing. Whenever you read
it up.
Yeah. Danny with Retro Wars podcast. He's also an awesome fella. He says Gears of War, which I assume it's Gears of War, which
maybe it's Xenogears.
Those. Maybe. What was another Gears game? Elemental Gear Gimmick.
No one knows what that is.
That's a deep dive.
Yeah, Jameson knows it.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I never played it.
Yeah.
And I don't love it though, so I don't. Yeah, I don't know enough.
Damn.
Sorry.
No worries. Professor Tom says, I'll second Ultima and nominate Wizardry, Mass Effect, Pokemon, Borderlands, and Grand Theft Auto. Those are some big games to have not played. I'm more impressed than anything.
Professor Tom still rules, though. Thank you, Professor Tom.
He's a professor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, then Distorted Rules, he says the Metro series, and I fucking swear to God I thought he played them, but he hasn't.
Wow,
but,
look at that. You mistaking someone for owning something.
I know. God damn it. That's why. That's why my big character trait is like.
You just assume that everyone owns things.
Wait, you had a car? You don't? No, Metro's good.
You have
though.
a pair of scissors. I know you have a pair of scissors.
You don't have ringworm? I swear to God, you had ringworm.
Chan said, "I've never played any of the Dragon Warrior / Quest games.
Oh man,
I played one,
love
and I
Dragon
didn't even play it all the way through."
That's messing up. And that's it for that one.
Is that it?
That's it for that one.
People start talking about breakfast foods, and I'm not really sure why.
I think Rick Firestone was like listening to our newest episode of the Ryan, and we had that like sausage McMuffin bit, and then he brought that up.
That makes sense.
Then we'll head on over
Good
to the
picks.
VIPs. Head over to the VIP section, and I just decided to ask. We'll ask the patrons a bonus question every week. And I asked, Tommy asked, actually, you gave me the question, what's a bad game with a great art style? And Chris from A Novel Console, he says Dragon Quest VIII.
That one looked like it hurt you.
I mean, it did, but like 4 and 5 are my two favorites. 8 is always like, that's like the Final Fantasy 7 of Dragon Quest, so it's whatever.
Is it really? Interesting.
Yeah.
This number's not right at all. Jameson,
Hey, that's
that
me.
name sounds really familiar. Said there was a game for the PS3 and Xbox 360 called Remember Me that was by the same company that created the Life is Strange games. It did not rate well in the media back in 2013, but it has gone on to have a decent user review score over the years. The game took place in a cyberpunk future version of Paris, and it was seriously gorgeous. The concept and presentation of the world was top-notch, and there was always something amazing to look at everywhere you went. But the gameplay was difficult, the combat was unremarkable, and the game was void of fun in almost every turn. Had it been a PS2 game, it would have been remembered. LOL, better. That was a game that was on my wish list for PS3 forever, and I never got around to actually getting it. Because just the idea was so cool to me.
Right, the same for me too. I finally picked it up like pre-owned from GameStop, and I'm like, all right, I'm finally ready to play this game. And it looked fantastic. Everything about it was super, super cool. It just was kind of boring. Sorry to anybody that likes it.
I used to have a friend on Xbox that he was a huge achievement whore, and he got every achievement in that game somehow. And the only thing I remember from that game was like that you could make your own combos or make your own moves or something, and that's all I remember from that.
I would have hated that.
It was one of those things where it was cool because you kind of like leveled up and you'd unlock a new thing and you could like add them to it, but the button combinations had to be super, super exact, which kind of was that void of fun part. I don't think that's how I play games too often, so it ended up becoming more challenging than fun.
EU. We scoot on over to Ho-Cham. He says Octopath Traveler 1. Second one seemed better from when I watched someone stream it on Discord, but if aesthetics, the first one were not what they were, I don't know if I could do it. Yeah, the first Octopath, Tommy and I both agree, was
I love
really
looking at it.
Yeah, it looks great. The characters are cool, but the story is meh, and it very quickly goes eh. Like it's an alright.
It's not very well put together story, but it looks great. I love the particle effects and the pixel art and the angle that you view everything at. It's just like, ooh, I love it.
And the old like SNES style where like the bosses are fucking huge. They're these fucking titans compared to your teeny tiny little party members. Yeah.
Even though they're just normal men on like before the battle when you're talking to them, and then you go into it and they're just a giant person.
Yeah.
Distorted Rules said Godfall or Forspoken. I never played Forspoken, but seen videos. Look really good visually, but the story and gameplay were lackluster. Same with Godfall. Beautiful game, but became boring really quickly.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, those are like the spokespeople for game looks really, really amazing for like what games can look like nowadays, but they didn't actually put any game around it.
Yeah, I remember listening to an episode of A Fine Time, and I think it was Andre who was talking about that. And that's basically the exact same thing he said. Like, it looks really good, and it plays pretty fucking smoothly, but then it's just like, it's just really like really samey. Like all the dungeons are the same, and yeah.
we're not this isn't the topic for today, but I feel like video games are a weird place now that we'll have these big games like Forspoken, or like 10 years ago Godfall would have been a big deal, and they just come out and everyone collectively goes meh, and then we move on. Like even Redfall this year was a big deal for like 2 weeks about how everyone was mad about it and no one remembers. I feel like games just enter and leave the consciousness like way quicker than they used to.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, same.
Good. Okay.
Good.
Let's we do have a specific topic to talk about today, though. This is our topic today is favorite video games that you haven't played, and I realized after I picked that topic that I was even a little confused with what I was going for. So, if you have a game or a series that you've played a little bit of, that's fine. I'm not super picky, but it's just games that you haven't, that aren't a part of your you wouldn't say that you've played them. Does that make sense?
That's
yeah.
Okay, good.
So like
maybe I'm overthinking it.
There's one I'm kind of iffy about. Like there's a series that I've played like a little bit of, but I haven't put like a lot of time into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'll start it off and maybe it'll make sense. I have never played a game in the Resident Evil series, but I do love the Resident Evil series. It's Aaron, why are you doing that?
I'm sorry.
He's sending messages in the chat just saying, yeah, cool.
Sorry, chef.
It's okay. I forgive you. I don't play scary games. I can't get over the scary factor of them. Every time I've tried to play a scary game, I physically can't move my character forward. Because when I do, scary things are going to happen, and I don't want scary things to happen. It's a mental block in my head that I can't get over. There are even like some games that aren't scary games that I struggle with. Like The Last of Us had some parts that were really, really tough for me to play. But Resident Evil as a series, I really appreciate and just love watching it evolve over time, because it's really gone through some changes over time. And whenever a new game comes out, I'm super excited to watch different YouTubers play it. I have a collection of YouTubers that I watch play scary games, because that's
cool.
how I experience them. Yeah. So I've seen everything from basically every Resident Evil game. I've just never played them because I'm too much of a coward.
I remember when we did our little video series and I had you play Forbidden Siren or whatever. Like, what did you think of that? Was that super scary or?
No, my heart was racing the entire time.
Okay.
Like, literally, I turned around and saw the companion character and screamed because I wasn't ready for it, and she was just following me.
Listeners, if you ever want to watch, or I guess see Tommy, but if you ever want to hear Tommy freak out while playing Forbidden Siren, just look up Superpod Saga Siren 2 or whatever. Yeah, on YouTube. My bad. It's pretty great.
But I love that the Resident Evil series keeps changing. Like, going first person is nuts. What a nuts idea to do for your long-standing 20-year-old franchise, and they did it like so well.
Yeah, like if anything, it got even spookier. Like,
yeah.
I still haven't finished Resident Evil 7 because I got stuck on a part. But like when I first played it, it was fucking beyond spooky, and I'm not normally scared by games, but yeah, it was great. It was awesome. Same with 8 also.
8 I didn't like as much. I liked 7 for like the house parts and kind of just, it was more what's the word I'm looking for? Like almost like a haunted house vibe, and 8 was way more open and had like werewolves and stuff and a lot crazier. I really like the more closed in sense of fear.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because like, so for me, it's a lot of stress induced gaming for Resident Evil games, because like I'm like, I can't use my ammo, I got to use this stupid knife in the old games, or so, and I always kind of hold on to stuff for too long because I think there's going to be something or some reason I need it. The scary part of the game sometimes is just the settings, more than anything else. Yeah.
And being in a house with a dad with a chainsaw being able to pop around at any time, that's terrifying, more so than a horde of werewolves chasing you around.
The
realism part.
Yeah. Absolutely.
A lot of dangerous chainsaws.
There were a couple parts in 8 that were kind of freaky though. Like when you first see the I forget what the fuck the big 4 were called, but there was like Lady Dimitrescu, and then there was like that big fucking frog creature. I was like, no.
Yeah, I forgot about him. The
Like
basement baby was nightmare fuel for me.
Yeah, that too. I forgot about that. That was also gross. Um, well, speaking of gross, it's a big running joke here on Superpod Saga that it's my favorite thing ever. The Uncharted series. I've never played them, but I appreciate them for what they are. I've always just thought of it as like a Dollar General version of Indiana Jones, but from the way people make it sound, it's a lot more than that. Like there's puzzles and I guess shooting, which I guess also happens in Indiana Jones. I fucking don't know. You guys tell me what you think about Uncharted.
I loved Uncharted. It was actually something I came into super late. I think I didn't even start playing them until the third game had already come out. But it's fun. I jumped into the new Tomb Raiders before I played Uncharted. And that's kind of like when I finally decided to, yeah. And I love those new Tomb Raider games. They're amazing. So I'm like, all right, I want more of this type of gameplay. And while Uncharted is somewhat similar, the exploration and jumping and all that kind of stuff, but the story wise and like, I don't know what to call it, like theatrical nature of it. It's a very like humorous action movie type of vibe. And that made it pretty fun to play. Yeah.
Yeah. I adore Uncharted 2. That was one of the first games I got on my PS3. And I don't know if people remember, but that was a graphical powerhouse back in the day. I was like, how in the world does a game look this good? And the thing that Uncharted 2 does really good is has all these set pieces that like there's the train that you go on that was mind-blowing for everyone back in the day because it's a moving train, like actually physically going through a level or like going from a rainforest up into the mountains.
That's cool.
And it just kind of does it naturally with like the timing of having to dodge stuff somehow works. Or there's a tank that you have to sneak around in a village that'll like pop. It's almost like it's hunting you. How it pops around corners and stuff, and it just does set pieces so well. And like you see what's going to happen. You're like, am I really going to do this? And then you do it, and you're like, I did it. Yeah, Uncharted is great.
I'll one of these days, if I do end up getting a PS5, I'll hop on that Nathan Drake collection or whatever. Maybe.
Yeah. Still waiting for them to make Uncarded or
What?
Because they did Crash. They had Crash Bandicoot and they made Crash Team Racing. Then they had Jack and Daxter and they made a Jack and Daxter racing game.
Oh.
But they never made an Uncharted kart racing game.
So Uncarded. I get
Uncarded.
it.
That's hilarious, Tommy. What's next on your list, Jameson?
So I thought it would be a good game to dig a little deep and find something that I know other people have played, but for some reason in my worldview has never really made it. Was Dynasty Warriors.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, dude. I love everything I see about it. I love how it's like based kind of very loosely on like the Romance of the Three Kingdoms series of games and the Chinese Three Kingdoms period of history. That is super cool and like right up my alley because I love that kind of stuff. And it's like massive battles where you're fighting tons and tons of people and you've got all these crazy moves and you're blowing through these crowds of weaklings that are coming at you because you're some super awesome guy. I for whatever reason, I've just never played it.
That's about the same with me too. Like I know, like back in the day, Games with Gold gave away one of the Dynasty Warriors games, and I had always known of the series, but actually decided to give it a try with Games with Gold. Finally played it, and I was like, "This is cool, but I don't want to play this anymore." And
yes,
yeah, it's
that's exactly what happened with me. I had an ex who had a Dynasty Warriors game. And I played it for a little bit, and I appreciated what it was doing. I was like, "Oh, that's cool that you have to like move around to kind of keep zones from or keep people from being overrun." And there's like hundreds of people, but I was like, "I don't really know if I want to keep doing this though."
yeah,
Right.
and then
It does kind of get a little samey.
and I played a little bit of Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U with one of my old roommates back in the day, and I appreciate that too for like crossing over with Zelda and shit. But that was all right.
Yeah, they had a lot of spin-offs. There was like a Dragon Quest one and a Fire Emblem one. I think there's a Gundam one,
Persona one.
Persona 2. Wow, I didn't even.
Oh
know that
yeah,
one.
That's right. Persona 5 Strikers or whatever.
So it's popular enough for them to keep making spin-offs. So obviously we're in the minority, but
I looked it up. There's like 50 different versions of this game.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it
That's
started as
crazy.
like a side-scrolling beat 'em up back in the day, like in the arcades or something. I think.
just like everything. Yep.
A fun side story about that. So back in the day, I used to work at like GameStop. Or no, it was called EB Games.
Yeah.
And when Dynasty Warriors 3 came out, it came in the box and we were opening it, and we knew what it was, but the outside label, they'd slap an old label on to tell you what was inside when they were unpacking for inventory. And the sticker had been misspelled Dynasty Warriors.
Oh, yes.
So
Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors.
That reminds me of It's Always Sunny, where what is her name? Dynasty. And have you ever seen It's Always Sunny, Jameson?
I have not, no.
I haven't either.
God damn it! Oh, let's be whatever. All right. Well, here's another Aaron sitcom reference, I guess.
Yeah.
There's an episode showing Frank in the past, and he was in love with this African American woman named Dynasty, and he opened his own jazz club, and she was a singer and all that stuff, and people, I guess, misread it as Shady Nasties, and yeah,
Shady Nasty.
yeah, there you go.
Okay,
Nasty,
okay, all right.
Nasty in anything is fun.
Yeah,
Did you ever, when working at EB Games, did you ever have a game that like you got a ton of copies of because they expected it to sell well and then it just didn't?
Yes. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like this like racing game right after Midnight Club came out. It was like Street Racing Syndicate or something like that.
that sounds familiar.
15 copies of that game, and I swear it sat there the entire time I worked there.
Dang.
I think they eventually just like relabeled it pre-owned and then just sold them for like $7.
Oh my fucking god!
That's lying. When I worked at Walmart way back in the day, they got like pallets of Call of Duty Advanced Warfighter. Like, we didn't even have enough people in the town to buy it because we're in small town Iowa, and they just sat in the back forever because there was like hundreds and hundreds of copies of Call of Duty Advanced Warfighter or Advanced Warfare.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Go ahead.
No, you go here.
I was just gonna say I've never worked in a store like that, so I don't have anything to add to this. Unfortunately, I just had the Dynasty reference.
It's a good reference. Good reference.
Okay,
It's a good reference.
Thank you.
Speaking of games with references,
I was hoping you'd go for nasty games. Damn it!
no. This works. This is you ruined it.
No, say it
Speaking
again.
of games with references,
Mhm.
Metal Gear Solid series. As a what's it called? I have played Metal Gear Solid 5. I didn't play it all the way through, but it kind of feels like completely disconnected from the other ones. So I think it's okay. I did not even know about the Metal Gear Solid series until Metal Gear Solid 4. For whatever reason, it was just in like a blind spot of my video game knowledge. Like, I think I just saw Metal Gear Solid and was like, I don't know what that is, and never read about it. And then Metal Gear Solid 4 got a bunch of 10 out of 10s, and I was like, what? I've never even heard of this. And then I go back and read about it. I'm like, oh, this was a very important game in the series in the history of games. And similar to Resident Evil, I found one YouTube series. It's not really on YouTube, though. It's on Giant Bomb. It was called Metal Gear Scanlan, where one guy is a Metal Gear nut and the other guy, Drew Scanlan, has never played them, and they just play through it together. And it was a joy, and I watched the whole thing, and so I feel like I have an unnecessary amount of Metal Gear Solid knowledge, but I've never played those main games.
That's cool. This one is also on my list, so I'll talk about it a little bit more too, as if it was my turn. Speaking of nasty games, my old friend Brandon, I remember one time he came over and he played through like the last half of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater through in like a span of like 6 hours. We just sat there together. I just watched him play it, and he played it, and I was like, yeah, and like, it's full of such fucking sweet ideas, like having to actually camouflage yourself and like blend in with the environment, and those little bits where you like when you eat food and shit, you when you eat like noodles or some shit like that, you'll be like, that's damn good. Or you can make him eat a snake and he'll fucking throw up. Or if you spin him around on like the status screen, he'll throw.
That's my favorite.
And you have to like heal his little boo-boos with like different, like you can't just use Band-Aids or everything. You have to have like gauze and all that shit. Or you have to have like this blood, clotter, or something fucking ridiculous. I forget, but and then all like I appreciate like everything it's done for gaming, but I've never played a single game in the series. But that will change once like that big honkin' collection comes. Because
I'm gonna buy that day one.
Yeah, me too.
It's time to correct the wrongs that I've done in the past.
Time to atone for my sins.
Man, Metal Gear Solid 4 has a part where they're like, we need to go back to Shadow Moses Island, which is from the first game. And so it does like a loading, and it like starts up as the PS1 version of, you just replay the first mission from Metal Gear Solid 1 in Metal Gear Solid 4. And then after you get to the elevator, someone like kicks him and wakes him up in a helicopter. And he's like, oh, you were sleeping. And it was just a dream of him being in Metal Gear Solid 1 again. It's so dumb, and I love it. Yeah,
that's such a cool way to do it. Yeah, it's awesome. Like I've played all of the Metal Gear Solids with the exception of the last one. I don't know why. I just like the completionist in me is holding on, I guess. But yeah, that's why I liked them. I love all of those games. They like you said, they've done a ton of really, really unique things. It's the reason that Hideo Kojima is like super well known.
Yeah,
the dude's wild. He's always doing something crazy. Like the game left a common sense of reality a while ago and got really wild, but I still love it. I'm really excited about the new collection too, though.
Yeah, you need to play Metal Gear Solid 5. I played it way later than after it came out, and it feels like a modern game. It doesn't feel old at all, and it does such unique, cool things that I've never seen in any other game. And it's like, how did no one like take this and try and do anything with it? Because it's amazing.
All right. I think
like
you're lighting a fire.
It's nothing.
That's okay.
Like the other ones.
It's been so long since I played them, it'd probably be a good thing.
True. I've been playing Metal Gear Acid on my PSP emulator on my phone. Yeah, I'm loving it, but I still haven't played any of the actual Metal Gear Solids.
Is Metal Gear Solid Acid the like card turn-based type one? Yeah. Okay.
It is far too complex. I don't want to get into it now, but it's like way overly complex for a card combat game in a good way. So are we skipping to Jameson then, or
we can go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of games that I haven't played, I don't know. I don't have a transition.
It's a good one.
I forgot what I said. I somewhat embarrassingly have never played any Luigi's Mansion games.
Same.
Oh, I've only played the first one, so it's all good.
Okay. Because I know there's like, I mean, there's probably 3 or 4 of these games by now. Like
3.
if you include like the arcade game, 3.
There's an arcade game.
Arcade. Hold on.
My Dave and Buster's, that's not super far from me, has the Luigi's Mansion arcade game. Yeah.
Are you looking about Wikipedia, Tommy?
Wait. Does it have a? Hold on. Let me go to Wikipedia.
Yep, I'm also there.
How do you control it?
It's like one of those sit-down cabinets, like with a giant screen, and you kind of like get inside. Yeah. It might be more of like a ride-along type of game, but you have like a gun. I haven't played it though.
You hold the vacuum or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah, and it's based on the second game.
What's that called?
Poltergeist.
There we go. That's what I meant.
Succutron, oh man. If we did episode titles, that'd be the episode of this title.
the Succutron. But yeah, why do you like Luigi's Mansion even though you've never played it?
Oh, so yeah, I love Halloween. It's like my favorite season. I love spooky stuff, fall time. I do love scary games, and I know like Luigi's Mansion isn't technically scary, but like all of the concept around it, like even the ghost houses in the old Super Mario world were like some of my favorite levels to play. So this is like 100% my jam. Also, I really appreciate Luigi as a comedy character.
Yeah,
he's excellent for it.
I'll never forget the original Luigi's Mansion. Like it was one of the first few games I got with my GameCube, and fuck, I had such a great time with that. Just looking around the mansion and like sucking up money and like little elemental sprites and lighting shit on fire and stuff and beating the fuck out of that baby ghost or whatever. And such a great
like
game.
It's in every game too, like Mario Kart or Mario Tennis, Smash Brothers. They all have some type of Luigi's Mansion connection.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
I even have some of the Luigi's Mansion's Lego Mario sets too, and I built them, but I still haven't played the game. So like my connection to Luigi's Mansion is like super, super loose.
And it's cool that like in Smash Bros. To further that connection. Was it Luigi's grab? He uses the poltergust. No, and he also has a like suck move with the poltergust, and that's really really cool. Like they I guess fuse Luigi with more of his Luigi's Mansion shit. I don't know what
Like
the other
character
word.
moves.
No, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
He has his own thing. I love
Yeah.
that he has his own thing.
It's awesome.
It also looks
only-
great on Switch.
It is. It's a gorgeous game. Like the new game looks incredible, and I bought it. I just haven't started it yet.
Even better.
The weird thing is the only like technically Luigi's Mansion game I played was, I don't know if you guys have played Nintendo Land on the Wii U.
I have it, but I haven't played it.
Okay, so there is like it's like a bunch of mini games that based on Nintendo properties, and there's a game called like Luigi's Haunted Ghost Mansion or something like that, and it's a 4-player game where you either get to play as the ghost or as like a Luigi character.
That's cool.
Yeah, and like lightning will flash and it reveals where the ghost is and stuff like that. And I love it. It's fun. But that's the only thing I've ever played that's technically Luigi's Mansion. So yeah, it seems like it's the perfect game for me. I don't know. Hopefully I get to it someday.
It's such a Nintendo game where it's just like they have this really creative idea that doesn't even technically like fit into a genre, but they do it so good.
Right.
And they have another like there's a lot of really like sweet subtle touches in that game too, like where when Luigi's just like walking around or like opening a door, you'll hear him like humming along to the background music, and it's really cool. Like it'll be like boom 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 boom, and he'll be like humming along with it too, and that's really
Oh,
neat.
does he? That's adorable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Or-
he's like nervous, right? And like
Oh,
the
yeah.
more scared he gets, the yeah.
The entire
good.
time, even like when you're putting a key into a door, or no, when he's reaching his hand over to a doorknob to open a door for the first time, you'll see his hand shaking, and he'll like slowly turn it, and then yeah, it's just really cool. Probably like a nod to like Resident Evil and stuff, but yeah, it's really really charming and really awesome. I love that game so much.
Nice. Is it too early for an ad break?
No, we can do an ad break. That's fine.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Jameson? Is it okay if we do an ad break?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna do an ad break. We'll be right back.
What he said. Superpod Saga is brought to you today by our superstar patrons, A Novel Console, Jared, Jameson, and Adam. You're all as attractive and awesome as you are generous and gracious. Your support means the world to Tommy and I, and of course you're all number one, and we'll continue to pray to your names every single morning, noon, and night. Thank you all. We love you. It's really important to stay hydrated. They say to drink 8 to 10 cups of water per day to stay properly hydrated, but sometimes that can be difficult to do and completely inconvenient, and most of us don't feel like carrying a gallon of water with us at all times. But that's where Liquid IV comes in. Liquid IV is the category-winning hydration brand fueling your well-being, and their hydration multiplier is the one product you're missing in your daily routine. In just one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than water alone. Use it first thing in the morning, before a workout, when you feel run down, after a long night out, or on long flights. Man, in Iowa, the summers can be brutal. 90 degrees and tons of humidity, and that just saps the energy and water right out of your system within just a few minutes. Luckily, Liquid IV hydrates 2 times faster than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. It's very important to replace those electrolytes, you know? And I just love how quick and easy it is to use Liquid IV. You just get one packet and a bottle of water, and you just pour that packet into the bottle of water, shake the heck out of it, and bam, you are good to go. Since using Liquid IV, I felt way more alert, active, and just plain better versus drinking water alone. My favorite flavors to go to are the Yuzu Pineapple Energy Multiplier and the Tropical Punch Hydration Multiplier. I can't get enough of those ones. And what makes them even better is, like I mentioned earlier, they're packed with 5 essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C. And again, 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. And they're non-GMO and free from gluten, dairy, and soy, which is just great. So you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code SUPERPODSAGA at checkout. That's 20% off anything when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code SUPERPODSAGA, SUPERPOD SAGA at liquidiv.com. You have a great one, superstars. Hey, superstars. Are you a coffee addict looking for your next big caffeine fix? Or are you just tired of all the normal boring coffee options out there now? Well, you need to check out Bones Coffee. Bones Coffee has lots of different varieties of coffee flavors. They've got things like red velvet, cookies and cream, s'mores. They've got one that's called Jamaican Me Crazy that's really good. It's like caramel vanilla rum kind of thing. But they also have just your usual, salted caramel and French vanilla and all that stuff. They even have decaf and what's called high voltage, which is just extra strength. And they've also got espresso. They've got all sorts of cool stuff. Plus, if you use coupon code SuperPodSaga at checkout, you'll get 20% off of your order. And again, that's SuperPodSaga at checkout to get 20% off. You can also follow the link in our episode description. And yeah, why not? Use that one-time coupon code. Like I said, 20% off. It's great. Head over to bonescoffee.com. Get yourself some coffee, some cool gear like mugs or French press kits, stuff like that. Check it out. Okay, bye. Okay.
I don't have shit for an ad. I have no idea.
That's all good. I've got one.
Okay. Good.
Hey, Tommy and Jameson, do you guys like mini golf?
I love mini golf.
I sure do.
I hate when it's called putt-putt.
See, I was wondering when I came up with this idea. I was like, what the fuck is the difference between putt-putt golf and mini golf? But thank you.
We're a mini golf podcast.
Oh yeah, we are. That's right. Do you wish it was just way more exciting and way more challenging?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, let me introduce you to XXX Extreme Mini Golf.
How many X's are there?
As many as you want. We'll put 5 up there. XXXXXXX Extreme.
Good.
Yeah, come check out. It's the most bone breakingest, spleen rupturingest, adrenaline fueled fucking joyride you'll ever have the glory of putting along to or whatever. Our most famous course here at XXXXX Extreme Mini Golf is the what we call the New York intersection, where you're plopped in the middle of a busy New York 4-way road. We'll drop the ball into the middle of a road, and you'll need to dodge traffic and constantly be berated by angry New Yorkers who are throwing trash at you and spitting you. And
Hundreds of people saying, "I'm walking here," over and over.
Yeah, it's just on a loop. Then try your best not to get blasted by a car and fucking die, because the hole is just on a sidewalk. It's up to you to figure out which sidewalk it's on, though. Well, we're not going to tell you. We don't even know where it is. It's up to you to find it.
You put it into a manhole and it pops out of another manhole somewhere else down the street.
Exactly. At another
manhole.
4-way.
Wrong manhole. I hear they also have a skydiving one where you put the ball out of the plane and then you have to jump out and skydive down to it to finish the hole. Is that true, Aaron?
That's true. We do have that. It's fairly new though, so we're still testing it. But so far, yes, that we do have that. There's also another one we call the Houdini course, where it's less of a course and more of like a small patch of land where there's this glass tank and a hole directly in front of it, and you'll get in and your hands and feet will be chained behind your back and you'll be in a straitjacket, and then the ball and your putter will be in this box protected by a 4-digit combination, and we don't even know the combination to that. It's up to you to figure that out, and you have to get out of the straitjacket and the chains and get to that combination and figure out the combination. Also, the tank is filling up with water the entire time, and if you can find a fucking way out of that tank, go drop that ball in the hole. We don't care how you get it in there, just get it in. No, go ahead.
On the other end of the spectrum, there's the Farmer's Challenge. It's 3 acres of grass and one hole. It's up to you to find where it is.
We also have somewhat newer one called Old Timers on the Green, where the whole course is surrounded by this rapid aging field where you age 5 years every 1 minute or something, or 1 year every minute, I guess. And you've got to find a way to get that ball in the hole before you develop Alzheimer's and forget who you are, what you are, where you are, and just spend the rest of your fucking time thinking like, what? Why am I here? And then you reach 90 years old and you might as well you're just all collapsed on the ground. And there's no way to reverse time. By the way, you're gonna bring at least like 3 pens because there's a lot of waivers to sign. I cannot stress that enough. We cannot provide you with the pens. You need to bring your own pens. God damn it.
Zero gravity mini golf. We put you up in a space station that is floating around the Earth, and the ball just floats around as you are floating in 0G, and you have to try and make it into the hole in 0G.
Or the gelatinous cube where you and the ball and your putter are encased in a gelatinous cube, and somehow, some way, you got to get that ball into the hole just outside of the cube.
We've got a room where it's just a windmill, but there's a serial killer in there with you.
You gotta get it into the hole. And the serial killer's got like a bomb collar around his neck, so like once you sink the ball, the bomb will kill him. But you gotta get in the hole before he stabs you to death. Or if there's just a treadmill where you're just constantly smacking the ball up this uphill treadmill, and I don't know where I'm going with this, but good luck.
We've got the clown hole from Happy Gilmore.
You're gonna die,
clown. Back out at you. They got it.
It's all sponsored by Subway. Eat fresh.
Thanks, Subway.
Thanks, Subway. Thank you, XXXXX Extreme Mini Golf.
Oh God. Are we back yet?
Oh
wow.
wow.
We back?
Wow.
We're back.
We're back.
Wow.
Thank you, Jameson, for that ad read. That was very good.
Yeah, thank you. I did my best part.
Whose pick was it? It was Jameson.
It's my turn.
Last, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It's me. It's me. We're not skipping my turn.
Okay, sorry, damn. Sorry,
we have
Chef.
order and rules. Without them, it's chaos.
We should get a gavel. The Super Pod Saga gavel.
Speaking
One
of
that
wars,
does like the squeaky sounds.
we do need a gavel.
Squeak, squeak.
I've seen this done on another podcast, but we should steal it, where if we get into an argument, we play the Judge Judy music and have our guests make the decision.
Oh, you should.
Bum, bum, bum. Wouldn't that be great?
Bum, bum. Yeah, we should do that.
Let's steal it. Let's steal that idea.
I'll find a gavel on Amazon right away.
Okay.
Or I'll just get a fucking hammer.
Everyone, we're going to pause the episode until we get a gavel. We'll be back. Speaking of chaos, I really appreciate, but have never played World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14, anything like that. I wish I could play those games because what I hear is like that they're really good stories, like decade-long stories. And I actually have a brother-in-law who has played World of Warcraft every day for over a decade, and so he keeps me updated on all the stuff in his guild and what's happening. I'm like, that sounds really incredible. I just do not have the time commitment to do that, so I live vicariously through him. He like he gives me like a weekly update of what's happening in World of Warcraft, and I'm like, that's so cool. Or like issues in his guild. I'm like, I can't believe they're such a bitch to you. That's so mean.
My wife used to play, Cheyenne used to play a lot of World of Warcraft, and she keeps me updated on a lot of stuff too. Like, we had this like action figure of like the Lich King or something, and I don't remember what the fuck I called him. I was like, this fucking guy or something, and she was like, that's Artorigus or whatever the fuck. I was like, who? And she was like, the Lich King, and I'm like, oh, okay.
He's got a name? I didn't even...
Yeah, I thought he was bad guy number 4.
Bad guy number 4. Would you believe that Wrath of the Lich King came out in 2008?
Oh my god, I remember them talking about that on G4 way back in the day.
Yes.
Wow, 2008.
Yeah.
What a time.
We were
What a
still in high
great
school.
time.
Yeah.
I remember the little cards you could buy, the little World of Warcraft cards that was like, here's 30 days of playtime you can play. And I was like, what?
Oh
What do you mean
lord.
30 days of playtime? What does that
You're telling me
mean?
you don't just you don't just buy the game and play it? Like what the fuck?
I remember thinking that as a teenager, I was like, that's such a stupid waste of money.
What a stupid idea.
Who would pay this?
A coworker of mine has been really trying to get me into Final Fantasy 14, and I want to try it, but I'm kind of have my hands tied with number one, Diablo. I still can't put down Diablo. Number two, I've got this fucking handheld emulator that I can't stop adding games to. And number three, like, fuck, I can't. I don't have the time.
I know the time commitment. It's for me too. I played actually quite a few hours of Elder Scrolls Online because it was totally free, and I
Mhm.
really liked that the whole MMO thing of like this giant world that you can explore and like the overarching story and just going from area to area and just being like, what the fuck's going on here? These people look like they need help. I'll go help them.
What the
And
fuck
just
is
seeing all
going
these
on
other
here?
people running around. Yeah, I was like, why is everything on fire? Someone should do something. So I'd love to do that. Everett says World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 14 so cool, but I don't have the time. I've got a life.
Damn. Shots fired.
Jameson, do you play MMOs?
I do not. No, I never got into them because I always had a crappy PC.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just kind of never got into it afterwards because, like you say, like there's a massive time suck that goes into those types of games, and I don't know unless I can like trick the clock or find like $1 million under a rock where I could just play them. I probably would then.
Yeah, totally. That's like a game that I'll
For
play when I'm
real.
retired and I have infinite time. When World of Warcraft is in its 50th year.
that'll be its prime time.
Yeah, is World of Warcraft just going to keep going forever?
Who knows, man? Like it's been going since like what 2003.
Yeah, it's been 20 years and
Yeah.
it's still going.
Speaking of old games, this one's not really. No, fuck it. I'll switch it around. Legacy of Kain. I've known about it. Never played it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It seems really cool with all the puzzles and vampires and gothic settings. And did I mention there's puzzles? Like it sounds cool, but I've never played it. Tommy?
What?
Yeah, I also have not. Yeah, Tommy, have you played this? Because I remember it. I never played it though.
I've only heard of it. Yeah, I've only heard of it. I honestly really haven't heard a lot about it. I just know that there's a few people that adore it.
Yeah, it was a big deal like when it first came out, and it was what on PlayStation and maybe
And Dreamcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a way to play it now?
There were Windows versions, so like maybe it's on. I think it's on goodoldgames.com possibly. Let's check it out. Are you already checking it out, Tommy?
No, I'm typing a private message to the podcast group.
What is that?
It's
Oh.
the
That's not Legacy of Kain.
No, I was you switched to Legacy of Kain. It's okay. We can keep talking about Legacy of Kain.
Hey, speaking of Legacy of Kain, though, yeah, it's all on GOG.com for like $7.
Oh, wow, what a deal.
Thanks, GOG.com.
What is Legacy of Kain even about?
So it's all
Why
just
isn't there
about
more of them?
good. I wasn't prepared for this, but good question. It's all about it's all about vampires and stuff. I know the main character is named Kain, and in the original Legacy of Kain, it played a little bit like Diablo, where it was like isometric and stuff like that. And then they switched it up with Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver came after the first game, and this was more like kind of like Zelda-ish with like some RPG elements and stuff like that. And you play as a totally different main character named Raziel. And then there was Soul Reaver 2, which continued the story of the first Soul Reaver. And then there were a bunch of games that were planned for the series, but were canceled.
Whoa, get this. The writer for Legacy of Kain series is Amy Hennig, who also wrote Uncharted.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
She considers Legacy of Kain her greatest achievement, though.
Okay. That's cool.
Interesting.
Fascinating. All right.
Trying to find something cool to read off of Wikipedia, because like that's just our thing.
That's
We
what
have
I
to do
found.
that.
Wikipedia. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Wikipedia.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
I'm just gonna fucking pull something. The composer is Jim Hedges.
Sick.
On Legacy of Kain Defiance. Who?
Hell yeah.
Thanks, Jim.
Well done.
Well done, Jim.
Yep, fine work.
How about you, Jameson? What's your next one?
Transitioning to fine work. I've also, and this actually doesn't connect at all. I've never played any of I've never played any of the Sony Spider-Man games.
Oh, I was thinking about including
Same.
those on mine too.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I love Spider-Man too. Like I read comics, I've seen all the movies. Everything about Peter Parker is kind of that relatable hero type of vibe. I like dig it. I think Spider-Man's a great hero.
Yeah.
And honestly, some of my first comics were probably like Spider-Man versus Venom and all that kind of stuff like that too. So like these games really should be what I'm playing, and I don't. And I think it's largely because they're giant open world games and I don't know how much time I can really put into them. But I played all of the old ones, like the ones that were based on the movies back in the day. The
Oh my
Tobey
God,
Maguire
yeah.
movies. Like that one, I played it on Xbox. Like it was incredible, like swinging through the city. And I know it looks massively better. It makes you feel like Spider-Man. But I haven't actually... I've only watched videos online. Like it looks like an awesome game. And the thing is, when I got a PlayStation 4, I definitely got Spider-Man pre-owned. I got a PlayStation 5. I picked up Miles Morales. I just haven't started them because I feel like I'm having a hard time committing to how big of games they are.
I considered including just like PS5 experiences on my list because that's what I loved on PlayStation 3 was playing like Uncharted and The Last of Us and all those. And I moved over to Xbox and I really missed those patented PlayStation experiences like the Spider-Mans, like the God of Wars, like the Ghost of Tsushima. And that makes me sad because those look great. They look awesome.
Yeah,
I want to be Spider-Man.
I get pretty overwhelmed by all the open world. Like I guess every game has to be so open and have so much to do and so many hours that you have to sink into every game now, and it's getting pretty fucking overwhelming. Like there are very few modern, I guess like AAA modern games that I've beaten over the past few years, but yeah, I remember seeing my brother-in-law playing the first Spider-Man game on PS4 back in the day, and yeah, it looks awesome, but there's entirely too much shit to do. Scale it down. Like I've played, I think like one or two of the original ones on well, I shouldn't say the original ones, but some of the ones on PS1, and I've played. There was like two on the 360. There was like Shattered Dimensions and Edge of Time, I think was the other one or something like that, and those were good. Yeah. But no, and then the Amazing Spider-Man, those were cool too. But yeah, I haven't played.
Oh, is that the cell shaded one? Or Ultimate Spider-Man or something like that? That's what I was thinking of.
No,
that game was sweet too.
These ones are just based off the movie, but they play a little bit like the Batman Arkham games, kind of, because there were like parts where you like sneak up on bad guys and take them out and shit, and you just zip around the city. But yeah, have not played the new ones though.
Yeah, I hope I do at some point. But I'm like 5 years behind at this point. Like, and the new one's coming out soon, and I really want to. The game was actually like, I know the writing staff like involved actual Marvel writers and stuff too. So like this is like deep.
That's rad.
Like connections to the actual source material, which is really really awesome. Just I hope I get to it. I don't know. I hope so.
They hold on, keep talking. I have to Google so I don't sound wrong.
Okay. One of the things I remember from the Xbox experience, from the one based on the movie, was trying to help the stupid kids finding their balloons. They would like shout like, "Oh, I've lost my balloon!" Yeah, and that was like, it was like a pop up. It was like the side missions. Like you catch like some burglars and other stuff like that. But there'd be like these little kids that lost their balloon. So you just land down on the ground and be like a kid who lost his balloon, and they'd be like, "Oh, I got to find it," and you have to like scale the building as fast as possible before the balloon gets too high that it pops or something, and then you bring the balloon back down to the kid. It was endless because back in those days, like that was, I guess, how they added on to the gameplay time, and that was it. Like there wasn't a whole lot extra, and I did it over and over and over.
Oh my god, that sounds
because I love Spider-Man.
That sounds so.
Speaking of, I'm not switching. I'm keeping on the topic. But speaking of experiencing games in a weird way. I played Marvel's Midnight Suns a bunch, which has Spider-Man in it, and they use the same voice actor from the Spider-Man game, the most recent ones. So it's kind of like I played the new Spider-Man, just in a different way.
Who is the voice actor?
It's the same Peter Parker, Yuri Lowenthal.
Oh,
Yuri Lowenthal.
I know that fucking dude. He does a lot of stuff. 1 second.
You
Hold
met him?
on. Well, no, but I know a lot of stuff he's voiced. Like, he's done a lot of anime and oh man, let me find it. I know he's done something that I know. I mean, he was fucking
Wikipedia,
Ben
come on.
10.
Come
What?
On, Wikipedia.
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, he provided the voice of 15-year-old Ben Tennyson in Ben 10 Alien Force.
His name is Ben Tennyson?
Yeah, there's also Kevin 11.
No, stop it.
No, I guess really.
That's
Oh
so
yeah.
stupid.
Yeah. He does the voice for Yosuke in Persona 4. That's awesome.
Persona.
Which
Ben Tennis
He's done a
shoes.
lot more stuff than I knew. Apparently, he did Marth and stuff too.
that's cool.
Oh.
Yeah, he's done like a lot of shit. I guess that's a little bit of an understatement.
Speaking of games with lots of different sequels and
No,
stuff.
wait. You guys remember Zatch Bell,
No?
Jameson?
I know the name. I don't
Oh
know
my
anything
God.
about it though.
Zatch Bell was wild. Puppets that cast spells, whatever. All right, go Tommy.
What?
Zatch Bell.
I don't... Is that a person's name?
Well, the main puppet dude's name is Zatch. It's so like
The
so
main puppet...
so
It's a
so
manga series.
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
I didn't... I thought you
They
were
also
talking about a
had anime.
person.
Oh no, the
Like a
show.
person named Zatch.
Yeah, you just said, do you know Zatch Bell? And I'm like, I've never met him.
It's like a human character would find like a book or grimoire, I forget what the fuck they're called, and then there would be a puppet tied to that, and the spell book would have all different spells that the puppet could cast. And like the main puppet guy, Zatch, he did like lightning spells, and each puppet does like different elements. Like there's a dark one, there's an ice one, and I just remember him going like Zakan, and he would
Flying
like shoot lightning
dragon.
out of his mouth, and yeah, it's a cool show. Continue.
Okay. As speaking of games with multiple sequels and stuff, I've never played a Castlevania, but they look really cool.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that you need to do it.
Yeah, I know I do. It's a series that, again, like growing up, I just never cared about or never read anything further about. I'd see the name Castlevania and I'd be like, "Where's Mario Kart?" But as I've grown older and wiser, more mature, I've gotten into this genre called Metroidvanias, and I wouldn't even say gotten into. I've played like what's the Xbox one, the one that you only played the first one of, and I played the second one of, Aaron, with the little white guy.
What? Oh, Ori in the Blind Forest.
Yes, I played Ori. And that was really cool. Gosh darn it, I played another Metroidvania, then I was like, I think I like these. So I need to go play Castlevania, because even you said in our last episode that it has like skill trees or upgrades and stuff, and you do things besides just exploring, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like when I actually read about the game, I'm like, this sounds cool.
They're great. And also, to quote yet another sitcom for this episode, the show Reba, who had starred Reba McEntire, show is pronounced mature as mature, and it drives me insane. But oh man, what's the theme song? I'm a survivor. But anyway,
Yeah, I was thinking of that too.
Reba deep cuts. I've never watched Reba. Sorry.
that's all. You don't need to. It's awful. But it's got Kevin from Shameless in it. He plays Van. I don't know why I know that, but okay. Well, yeah, Castlevania, Symphony of the Night you can for sure play on Xbox, and then like the 3 GBA games you can also play on Xbox, and those are also really good.
What's really funny is I don't know the timeline of Castlevania games, so they're all just lumped. They're lumped into my head. Like you'll say Castlevania Circle of the Darkness, and I'll be like, that sounds like a DS game. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. If anything, I would. Sometimes they're on sale though, but like Symphony of the Night, a lot of people, including myself, will say that it's like the best just because it is the best. But the ones on GBA are also really fucking good. I mean, not to toot my own fucking horn, but like I've played through Symphony of the Night like twice now, and yeah, it's
twice.
Yeah, like I'm some big fucking super fan. No, but it's just cool because like you don't have to take any one predetermined path. You can go in whichever fucking direction you want and get upgrades in your own, I guess.
That's great.
in your own at your own pace or in your own path, basically. And as you kill enemies, you'll level up, and you can unlock new spells, equip new gear, which gives you better stats and all that shit. So it's kind of like got like a looty aspect almost to it, and no, they're good.
See,
They're
that sounds
great.
great.
Yeah.
It sounds like I'd like it.
So go play.
I mostly know the Castlevania games from the soundtracks, to be honest. I have not played many of but the soundtracks are always so good. So even though I haven't played them, I kind of share that like connection to those games.
Yeah, especially Symphony of the Night. Is so
the one.
90s and so super chill.
What's the most recent Castlevania? They haven't had one in a while, have they?
I think the most recent one, there was like one on 360 called like
2014.
Lords of Shadow 2 or some shit like that.
It's been almost 10 years.
Yeah,
Why?
they haven't, because Konami sucks, dude.
Oh, it's Konami.
Yeah,
It's Konami. Yeah.
Oh, that'll do it.
Konami smells butts. They're butt smellers.
I think I'm going to play Castlevania on the Nintendo 64. I think that'll be my first one.
Okay. Okay, Tommy. Oh wait, do you sell the GBA emulator?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, play all those. They're what is it? Aria of Sorrow, Circle of the Moon, and Harmony of Dissonance. They're all good.
Tangle of the Grove, Spindle of the Wire. It's just random words.
Smeller of the butts.
Smeller of the butts.
Speaking of smelling butts, I appreciate what I've never played a Danganronpa game. They have great soundtracks.
That's a good one.
I've read a manga series of the first game, and I really enjoyed it. I've just never played the games because they've either been on fucking Vita, which I've never owned, or on PS4, which I've never owned. But I mean, they were on Game Pass for a little while, and I meant to play them, but I downloaded them and I didn't because I suck. But they look rad. They've got interesting concepts like the whole student trial bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danganronpa.
I've never played those either.
Our boy Nave from Gaming Together, he's a huge fan of those. He would attest to that. But yeah,
that's another one where I have a YouTuber that played through the first and second one, and unfortunately they played at a very slow pace, and I got really bored, so I didn't watch it all. Sorry, YouTubers.
Dang it, YouTubers. Jameson, have you played them or heard about them or anything like that?
I know of them, but I know very little other than there's usually a bear on the cover of each one. I know that's not specific, but that's all I know about it.
Oh, you're right.
Monokuma.
You're totally right. You got it all down.
Okay, got it.
It's basically like, I know. Well, I guess this is just the first game, but it's like it's a visual novel for starters, and there's just like a bunch of students in this school, and every so often a student will get killed, and it'll be up to you and all the other students to, I guess, solve the mystery of who killed the one character, and you'll have to gather clues and
it was someone else.
Okay.
It was one of the other kids that does it.
Yeah. Yep.
The killer is amongst you.
So that probably explains why I've kind of always loosely connected these two to like the Persona series a little bit. I know they're not connected, but like I think my
art
brain
style,
associates them. Yeah.
And what's also cool is when you do find the killer, you'll execute them in like some
Then you execute them.
way. Because like there's that one baseball guy or sports guy, jock guy that you like throw baseballs at, or like you launch
You just set up
baseballs
a
at him.
pitching machine. They put up a pitching machine that hurls baseball at him until he dies.
Dude. Yeah.
Whoa, that would take forever.
It goes really fast.
Again, it's like Billy Madison, or not Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, where he's like, he's getting hit by he's like, oh yeah, I felt the seizure coming up, I felt so good.
Best movie ever made.
If for real, so quotable.
How
have
we not talked about Happy Gilmore yet?
I'm pretty sure we have.
Episode like 823.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No. My favorite is watching the movie on cable and them censoring the words. So the regular quote is, "You know what else would draw a crowd? A golfer with an arm growing out of his ass." But on cable, he says, "You know what else would draw a crowd? A golfer with an arm growing out of his face," and it's so obviously edited in. It sounds like shit.
When I was younger, I used to think that they would record like the different, I guess, voices or lines like right there, like when they aired it. But like, no, they just have like some fucking pool of different shit that they'll just slap in there if it sounds like remotely close.
It has
It's-
that Leonard Skinner song.
Oh yeah.
And that was exclusively where I had heard that song. And then one day it was on one of the Guitar Heroes, and I was like, it's the Happy Gilmore song. I didn't know this was
Yeah.
Leonard Skinner.
All right, Jameson. Speaking of Leonard Skinner,
Okay.
Speaking of Leonard Skinner,
Speaking of Leonard Skinner, my next game is not related.
oh,
I'm gonna say Doom.
ooh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Doom, like the soundtrack to Doom, was by Leonard Skinner? Like instead of like the crunchy, like hard guitars, it was like bow.
No Mick Gordon, it's just high pitch. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, no Mick Gordon. Oh shit.
Yeah. And it's one of those like it's one of those games like I absolutely love it. Doom's been around forever, and I've played maybe like Doom 64 for a little bit when I was younger, from like rented it or something like that. But and I love first person shooter games. Like I've played a lot of Duke Nukem, Wolfenstein, Turok, GoldenEye, like all those like early games. So like Doom should have been in that like wheelhouse of games I was playing, but I didn't. But I know all of the Doom stuff. Like I've watched maybe somewhat regrettably watched the Doom movie starring The Rock.
Oh no.
Oh, I watched that too.
Yeah,
I did too.
Every time it's like I'm like, all right, I'm feeling like I need to watch Doom again.
It has a first person section that looks like they try to make it look like the game.
Right. And it's like maybe like 7 whole minutes long or something like that.
It's so long.
Yeah. I love it.
Aaron, did you know that? I need you to react to that, Aaron.
Hold on. There you go.
How'd you get my? Oh,
Senior.
You're funny.
Oh, that's amazing. All right. The Doom movie was awesome. So I've watched that. Everybody knows like Doom Guy and like BFGs and all that kind of stuff. But when they revived the series for like Xbox, the original Xbox, like Doom 3, it was like all like bump map graphics and it was all this really cool stuff. I ended up diving deep into Halo and completely forgetting that Doom existed until like maybe it came back out when the newer ones, The soundtrack's awesome. I know that. On the new series, like the soundtrack's amazing. Mick Gordon is like an absolute guitar shredder, and his music is incredible.
Yeah, Mick Gordon also does the soundtrack for the new Killer Instinct reboot, and it slaps
Aaron,
real
you gotta
fucking
stop
hard.
talking about Killer Instinct.
So
I
good.
can't,
Bring it up
Tommy.
every episode.
It's so good. I can't. You stop it.
They had an update for Doom or Doom Eternal where they did ray tracing. They had to ray trace into the Xbox version. So I played that for 10 minutes and I was like, look at those lights. And then
Look
I
at
stopped
those
because it's too
rays.
scary.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, Tommy.
Okay.
It's scary. There's things attacking you. There's demons.
Oh, that's adorable. I love it so much.
I really appreciated listening to other people talk about how fun it was to play and how it was like how they had like this loop, this groove that you get in of having to chainsaw people to get ammo or like shoot people to get gas for your chainsaw, and it was just like this loop of meleeing to get other stuff or health or something. It was like having to that sounded really cool. That sounds like a neat thing.
And like as the action ramps up, the music fucking amps up, and then when it dies down, the music also dies down. But it's like that's so awesome. It's just such, even like the one from 2016, like still looks incredible, plays smooth as fuck. But yeah, they're awesome. So my grandpa Joe back in the day, he was really into just building bullshit ass PCs from like random parts he would get from like Goodwills and stuff. And he always had like at least 10 spare floppy disks with Doom and Doom 2 on them.
10 spare floppy disks with Doom.
and so one time he gave us a little PC to bring to my dad's, and we would play Doom all the time. And it's awesome.
You
Never
played
played Doom
floppy
64,
disk
though.
games, Aaron?
What?
You played floppy disk games?
Just like one or two. It was either Doom or Duke Nukem.
I had SimCity on the floppy disk.
I think that SimCity 2000 was the one I had.
You would when you wanted to save your game, you would go to exit and it would give you a code that you would want to write down, and then it had a manual where you would find a code that like was with that code, and it had another code that you had to input to reload your save. It was wild.
What in the hell? I remember one time.
Amazing.
I remember one time I put the entire like walkthrough or guide to Legend of Zelda Wind Waker on a floppy disk. And I think, what was it? I got it too close to a magnet, or like a magnet touched it or whatever, and of course it wiped it, so I lost the entire guide. But whatever, you just put it right back on there and it doesn't matter. But floppy disks are nuts.
This isn't here or there, but I had to, going back to playing Metal Gear Acid, I didn't know how a thing worked, so I tried to Google it, and the first thing that came up was GameFAQs, because it's an older game, and I was like, oh yeah, I could use GameFAQs again. This is great.
Dude, my favorite's the ASCII art at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this is great. I'm so happy that I have to use GameFAQs to figure out what to do in Metal Gear Acid.
I'll never understand how I've tried to do that a couple times, and I cannot. It's so difficult.
Yeah, it's beyond me. I don't get it. But I appreciate everyone that knows how to do that stuff. Like, that's like the internet history, like a skill set that's maybe missing.
If you're gonna make a GameFAQ, you have to be able to make a ASCII art. I don't know how to pronounce it. There's
like one freelance ASCII artist out there who's doing all of them still.
He's broke now because no one needs his.
It's like, we have Canva now, dude. Why would I want that? It's like when people instead of using emojis, they make things out of like colon, parenthesis, or like or if you're extra nasty, you do like equal sign parenthesis. Don't do that.
Oh yeah.
Don't do the equal sign.
I still type my smiley faces out. I use emojis more than I used to, but I prefer to type the smiley face out.
Emoticons, right? Is that what they're called?
Yeah. That's it. The ancient lost art of emoticons.
I had so many. Like I could convey every emotion you wanted to with just parentheses and
various uses of colons and
exactly.
hyphens.
Lord, I'm an artist.
Oh man, I don't even know whose turn it is anymore. I'm
mine.
lost.
It's
okay,
mine.
Tommy.
Okay.
Speaking of games as art, I love watching the rapid Call of Duty. It's such a I don't understand, but I like watching each game come out each year and how it's just getting stupider and stupider.
Yeah.
I played Black Ops and Black Ops 2. Those were the two Call of Duties I played back in college, and I have not touched a Call of I haven't played one since then, but I've some of them are free to play, and so I downloaded Warzone and jumped in, and it's like 8 menu pages of battle passes and blueprints and all this bullshit. And just I have a friend who plays Call of Duty every year, plays every Call of Duty. That's like one of the 3 games he buys every year. So he keeps me updated, and like just seeing it progress from just like a normal shooter with fun mechanics to like gradually becoming this microtransaction hellscape. It's just it's kind of fun to watch in a weird way, because I'm so happy I'm not in this ecosystem. Does that make sense?
Carl, yeah. Yeah, it does make sense. We're typing things in the chat again. No, yeah, it does make sense. Like, oh fuck, what is it? The YouTube channel I used to watch a lot of Funhouse. They played through the campaign for Call of Duty Ghosts, and I played like maybe a little bit of the online for Ghosts, because it was like the same as everything else, but like the campaign was almost cool. But yeah, it does get like progressively more and more dumb. It'll be like terrorists in space, or like there's a dog.
What?
You play as a dog, or like I don't know, dude.
Well, Advanced Warfare straight up has space combat in like space ships.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I remember people comparing it to Halo to some degree, because
they
huge jumping and laser guns and stuff.
And now they're just remaking combat. Modern Warfare. They're doing the 3rd one now. It's just Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3 again.
Oh, awesome! Because that was the last one I think I played was Modern Warfare 2.
The original?
Yeah, the original.
Not the new one.
And when it was called Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, or wasn't it the original name?
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2. Yes.
I'm doing the like praise the sun pose. I'd so desperately want to go back to that, dude. Oh, those were such good times.
They were.
Call of Duty Black Ops 4. It's not IV for the Roman numerals. It's 4 I's.
Oh
what
yeah,
the
that's right.
fuck?
Yeah, I remember
Why?
that.
Why not?
Yeah,
What
that's
do you mean,
the
why?
whole like I guess slogan for Call of Duty. Like, why not? They're in space, dude. Why not? Like, we'll make it like Twisted Metal. Why not, dude?
I've heard on a podcast I listened to that they were talking about Call of Duty. There was one where they had like wall running and rocket packs and stuff, which was like it made the multiplayer like different. They were trying to do something
That's like
different.
this
with, like,
Titanfall.
yeah, they were trying to make a Titanfall essentially. And then they had like the press conference revealing the next one, and the speaker was like, "No wall running," and the crowd starts cheering. He's like, "No jetpacks," and everyone's losing their mind over features getting taken away.
Wait, so their announcement that got people clapping and excited was, "Here's stuff we ruined the last game with that you
Yes.
paid for.
Yes,
Clap because you'll buy the next one now that
Yes.
it's not in it." That's
exactly.
incredible.
I love
That's
it. I
incredible.
just
Fucking
I
wild.
will never get tired of watching the insanity of Call of Duty.
No jetpacks.
Yeah.
Yes. Fuck yeah. Dude,
That's awesome.
speaking of jetpacks, though, I cannot bring myself to finish a Persona game. I should have brought this up earlier because we were talking about it
yeah.
already. But like, I can only get about like 10, maybe 15 hours into a Persona game before I get burnt out. Like, I've tried numerous times to start and beat like Persona 3 and 4, but yeah, I'll get maybe like 15 hours in, and I'll just be like, I can't do this, dude. Like, I appreciate like the characters they've made, the worlds they've built, all the different fucking mechanics that
Style.
they've added.
Right,
the
it's so
style,
cool.
Ripping in style.
soundtracks.
Yes.
Fucking
Soundtracks are amazing.
Oh yes, yes.
the games are great, but fuck, there is too much.
It
Like,
is overwhelming
Yes.
as shit.
Yes.
I think that's
It's like one of those like nerd street cred things to play Persona, and like I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't get to participate because I don't really know anything about Persona, and I know that probably anybody that's listening, probably is like, oh, well, I've played them all and I love them, and you should too. I hear that a lot, but I am kind of like you, Aaron. Like I have one. I think I've got Persona 4.
Mhm.
I'm still in the first like hour of the game, and I haven't gotten anywhere yet.
Mhm.
And
Oh
it's-
man,
I think Tommy and I, like, once Persona 5 came to Game Pass, we both tried to play it for a little bit, and we talked about it quite a bit, and we both got like, I think, to about the same point. I think I got like a teeny bit further, but yeah, we both, it's a lot. And I think that's why I prefer like the main series games or like some of the spin-offs, because it's a lot less like extra stuff you have to do, because like my favorite Shin Megami Tensei 4, you talk to demons, they join your party, you fuse them with other demons to make more powerful demons, and you just complete the story, and it's dark and gory, and I love it. But then with Persona, it's like there's personas, and you can fuse personas, and then you talk to your friends, and you go take them out for ramen, and then you have to do this science test. Oh, but don't stay out too late, because then you'll be too sleepy, and you can't. Like, I know our good friend Bill with Gaming Collecting, he loves Persona 4, but I can't. I cannot.
yeah.
Sorry.
I think
Yeah.
you nailed it on the head for me. Like, it's just mechanic after mechanic after mechanic after mechanic that gets introduced over the span of like 10 hours. The first 10 hours is just introducing mechanics, and I've already forgotten the ones from 3 hours ago, and now they're building on the ones that I've forgotten about. I just can't do it. And I believe like totally that if you understand everything and know how to work its systems, it would be great. It would be awesome to do that, but I can't. I just struggle with that. Like, when it's like, what do you want to do with your day? Where do you want to go? And I'm like, fuck, I don't know. Where do I want to go?
I don't even know what I
Like,
want to
one
do in
time
real life.
I just was like, maybe I should explore, and I went to a section of the map that was like a subway, and I was just walking around the subway, and I'm like, am I supposed to be here? There's shops where I can buy stuff. Am I supposed to do that? I don't know. I feel like I'm playing wrong. It makes me feel like I'm playing wrong the whole time.
I think that was one of the things. I never felt super comfortable, but I enjoy watching other people play it who kind of get it just better and faster than me. I had a friend of mine, and she loved Persona 3, so I would just go over her house and I'd watch her play, because I didn't really catch the whole story because she'd be playing because the game is so long, but I could pop in and just enjoy watching someone that was good at that gameplay.
Yeah, that sounds great. I would enjoy that too, I feel like.
And that fucking soundtrack is probably what I appreciate the most from those games. It's
totally.
just banging. Yeah, it's a series that I've appreciated from afar. Like, I don't hate them by any
Yep.
means. Like, they're great games, but I can't do it.
That's a good pick.
What about you, Jameson?
Okay. I guess another one of those games that kind of takes on that RPG style and is super huge nerd cred. And I've never played Mass Effect.
Oh, yay! We
Ooh,
get to talk
At
about Mass
all.
Effect today.
Yeah, and I know we talk about it probably a lot on the show, but I figured I have a interesting perspective that I actually love space and I love science fiction stuff. And
Yes.
like, it's kind of got that, like, what if Star Trek was a good video game
Mhm.
kind of direction.
Yeah, totally.
There's like alien governments and you're interacting with people.
Oh,
And there's
yeah.
like this giant impending doom of a Borg-like species that's going to end everything. I love that stuff. I eat that stuff up. But Mass Effect is, I've never actually played it. So I found myself over the years, like I know like the jokes, like Shepard's favorite shop on the Citadel and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And but I know all like the inside jokes, but I've never played them. So I actually love the Mass Effect series for what it is, even though I've never actually spent a single minute in it.
What's what's the thing, the in-game lore thing called?
What?
The thing that gives you like info about the races and the government and stuff.
Like
What's
the
it called?
Codex?
The Codex, yes.
Okay.
You
Codex.
would love the Codex, Jameson. It's narrated, so you can just go into the Codex and be like, "Tell me about this species," and this guy reads to you about their entire history, and you can just sit back and listen. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Like 20% of my time in the game was just listening to the guy talk about the game.
I'm just gonna like audio book my way through Mass Effect.
Exactly. There you go.
They have thought. Sorry, Aaron. I keep interrupting.
It's
you.
okay.
Sorry.
Go for it.
It's the best thing about Mass Effect is they put so much thought into the universe itself and how the science works and how the government works and how these species work, because some of them gained interstellar travel before others. So how does that affect their development as a species? How does it affect how they treat other species that come in? And humanity isn't special in the Mass Effect universe. What they're good at is coming together as a unit to accomplish one goal, which is kind of ironic. But but they're not like overpowered.
Sorry, humans.
Yeah, they're not overpowered or like this special thing. They're newcomers in the Mass Effect universe. They only recently got interstellar travel and are meeting all these other ones. Everyone else has already like created the government of the universe or the galaxy or whatever, and have like all this stuff, and humans are like, can we be a part of it, please?
Yeah, see, that's cool. Like, it's not like Star Wars where basically almost all the characters are some type of human base. Like, I love the idea that like we're like humankind is the last or one of the more recent ones interjected into this entire universal concept. I think that's awesome.
And you get to decide their choices. I don't want to give like big spoilers, but you can really make it so that like humanity becomes a bigger part of the galactic government, or you could not have that happen. You can make some big choices.
And I appreciate that the games aren't all that long either. Like, usually you can complete a playthrough in like, what, 30 hours or 40?
Especially the first one. The first one is surprisingly short.
Wow, okay.
And the combat.
I didn't know that.
The first one,
I know a lot of people say
like
this.
5 story missions.
Oh, is the rest of it like resourcing planets and stuff like that?
Side missions to like
side missions.
What are they called? Loyalty missions to become
yeah.
closer to your crewmates. Stuff like that.
Like Garrus.
So good.
Love you, Garrus.
Liara. Liara's my bae forever.
What is it? I enjoy the combat also. Like, it's just like a third person cover based kind of bullshit thing, but it's just good. Like, it fits so well with Mass Effect and all the different like biotic powers, and that you can kind of make Shepard into what you want him to be. Like, if you want him to use like mostly biotics or like guns or whatever the fuck, I've forgotten, but they're good.
Is that like the space magic?
Yeah,
the game?
The space magic.
There's tons of space magic. I remember I played it. I don't pick choices based on good choice or bad choice. I pick on what I think my character would do. And what ended up happening is I would be a good guy like 90% of the time, and then when it comes to the pivotal choices, I would make what they call the bad guy choice. And I just felt so weird because like my crewmates would treat me like I'm a good person, and then there was a part where like I needed to get information from someone he wasn't telling me, so I was like, I guess I'll punch him. And Garrus was like, "What are you? This isn't like you at all. What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry. I just wanted to get the information." But the fact that he recognized that I'm not usually like that was so cool.
That is cool.
It's just so well put together.
And they got Seth Green to be the pilot.
It's good. Yeah,
We'll
Seth Green
Seth
is
Green?
Joker.
Seth Green is in the game. Okay, I'm playing it now.
Yeah,
he's
dude.
really good. He plays it totally straight. I mean, he makes like jokes, but they're not like Marvel jokes.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Wait, so is he in all 3 games?
Yes.
Oh,
he's a main. He's one of the main side characters.
Yeah, he drives. He pilots your
drives
ship. Yeah. He's your fucking what's the word? He's your chauffeur.
He man, I is it spoilers if I just tell you what his character's like?
I say
like
do
his
it.
backstory.
Yeah,
Yes, do it.
He has a disease so that he can't walk, so he tries to overcompensate by being the best pilot in the galaxy.
Whoa, that's cool
That's cool.
backstory.
I didn't know that.
So he's like very sensitive to like pilot matters. Like you'll try and joke, be like, "Oh, you came a little rough there," and he's like, "Shut the fuck up." No, that's not. He's not that harsh, but he's like, "I'm the best," and you know it.
That's
Nice.
awesome. That's actually, I see that deep thought, like the deep story, the lore
man.
building, all that stuff is like 100% my jam.
And I've never played Mass Effect 3.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So did you play Andromeda then?
I did.
Oh, okay. You just skipped out on 3?
Yeah, I never got around to it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you when I get there, because I'm going to start playing. I'm going to play it now. I really need to. Of all the games we're talking about that we've never played, I might start with Mass Effect.
Yes.
Is that all of them?
That's all. Is that all of our picks? You mean, or all the Mass Effects?
All the series that we don't
I don't
like
have
or
any
something. Okay.
Seriously, we don't.
We like that. Yeah.
That's the next episode where we're just gonna shit on games.
Call
that's
it Angry Hour. All right. That's it. No other games.
Do you guys have any more honorable mentions?
That's it for me.
I did actually have another one. Well, just one.
Okay.
I've never played The Witcher.
But
I know it through. Honestly, this is also probably nerd street cred losing points here too. But I actually watched the TV show, and that's when I started investigating more. So I actually kind of went a little bit backwards. I think The Witcher is awesome. The character's awesome. The world is sweet. I love like the history, like how it's kind of based on some like folklore stuff. It's awesome, and it's also kind of from a different perspective. It's not usually like your Anglo-Saxon or like Japanese focused storyline, which is cool.
Yeah. I only played a little bit of The Witcher 3, and I appreciated that it was like almost more hunting focused than hack and slash focused. Like you could learn about the monsters and what their weaknesses are, and you could like coat your blade in different materials, or set up different traps and stuff.
Yes,
but it was way too big. I couldn't do it.
It's another one of those games that's big. Yeah, same.
Too much stuff.
The Witcher 2. Well, I guess the first game is janky as fuck. I wouldn't recommend that one. But like The Witcher 2, that was on like the 360 and I think PC, and that one's pretty cool. It's definitely not as big as the third game though. So I mean, if you want to get like a bite-sized little bit of The Witcher, you could probably go for the second game.
My other honorable mention was Half-Life, the Half-Life series.
Oh man,
I was too young to play those. I didn't have a PC or anything, but I appreciate what that did for gaming back then. How it revolutionized a lot of stuff like storytelling in games and physics in games.
Yeah. And like even like the add-ons and things that have come from it, even like Left 4 Dead came from the same concept that Half-Life 2 did. Like I think that's amazing.
You can trace the Stanley Parable back to Half-Life.
Oh, I'm sure. Wasn't the Stanley Parable like, didn't that start as like a
it was a
mod for Half-Life? Okay.
Yeah. Which is wild. But that's it. That's all the games that we've never played that we like. I hope that you like listening to it, people. Jameson, if they want to hear more about talking about video games, where can they do that?
Yeah, if at all you're interested in video game music, you can go to barsilence.com to find easy link or tune in on the site for a variety of music. I cover a lot of games over the last year and a half here, like Perfect Dark, Ridge Racer, Armored Core, Tekken, Jet Set Radio, a ton of soundtracks that I really truly love, and some that I've actually never kind of similar games I haven't played, but the soundtracks are amazing. And if you're interested in that, it's a little bit of history, a little bit of research, and a lot of bit of music. So you can find the show basically just to type in barSILENCE or barSILENCE VGM on your favorite social media website or your favorite podcast sourcing content app, and you will find the show.
Nice. Where can people find more of us, Aaron?
The same way. It's superpodsaga.com, or you can just look for Superpod Saga.
barsilence.com.
Yeah, there we go. Well, yeah. Funnily enough, I guess weird side story. When before YouTube Music added podcasts to the app, I kept trying to look for podcasts on YouTube. I would type in our name, and funnily enough, it would pull up one of Jameson's episodes. It's Christmas episode because I picked a song for the Christmas or the winter episode. Sorry, of Jameson's show, and yeah, it pulled this up on there. But
Oh, yeah. That was an excellent choice, by the way. Earthbound has an amazing soundtrack.
yeah, it does. What was I? Oh, yeah, superpodsaga.com. Type it in anywhere. You'll find us. Previous episodes, blog, social medias, join our Discord, all that stuff. If you like the show, consider becoming a patron for cool stuff. Superpodsaga.com.
Yes, the more patrons we have, the more cool stuff we can do.
That's true.
Please do it as a current patron. There's a lot of cool content on your guys' site.
Yes, thank you for listening. Please check out us, check out barSILENCE. Go and be happy in the rest of your life after you're done listening to this. You're beautiful. What?
Wait, then the next episode will be about our childhood favorite games.
Oh my gosh,
we're finally going to get to that. You're good.
I'm sorry.
Okay, now go.
Aaron, what are we talking about in the next episode?
Our childhood favorite games. Okay, now go.
Look forward to that, people. You're beautiful. I messed it up. Bye.
It's okay. We love you, Tommy. Bye.
Just tell the people bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.